What's going on, everybody? This is Fight Words for Kev and Shelz. I'm Shelz.
Kev, 8 Count Sports. 8 Count Sports. What's going on, bro? What's going on?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Happy MLK Day, bro.
Happy MLK Day.
Definitely.
And also, today's, the presidential inauguration day. So, we got two big moments in American history today.
Absolutely. But what we here for?
We're here for speaking on the UFC. We're speaking on UFC 311, which took place last week Saturday in Los Angeles. Man, it was I was gonna say bar burner, but I didn't want to be insensitive to the situations going on out there. But it was some good fights out there, man. Let's start with the main, bro. Let's start with the main, Kev.
Main event replacement fight. The original fight that we waited for was Arman against Islam, and with less than 24 hours or 24 hours, we get a new opponent. Arman hurts his back, and we end up getting Renato Moicano.
Before we get into it, let's just talk about this real quick. It seems like he's not going to get an immediate title shot. Do you think that's right? For Arman Shukin not to get the immediate title shot when he recovers.
I think it is. I think
he's going back to the drawing board, so we don't know.
That's
how
what he
much
said. He said he's going back to.
He said that during the press conference, so we don't know how much more fights he has to go through to get back that title shot, bro.
I think it's fair. I think I'm not fair for Arman, but for the rest of the man, you got to understand that we've waited for this fight. This is the fight we waited for. Everything they've trained. He trained specifically. Islam trained specifically for this fight, and it fell through. I mean, there's other contenders. It's messed up, but I mean, was Arman like Arman? You always mention Charles Oliveira, so I mean, I don't mind them seeking other options. We waited for this fight. We didn't get it. I'm a little over it, but I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it. Period. How you feel about it?
I mean, it sucks, but I need to know more about the nature of the injury. Like, what happened to make him pull out the fight in under 24-hour notice? Like, what was the situation? Like, that's just gonna give me the real answer if it's because I can't see a guy pulling out for something that's very extreme. I mean, this is the shot at the title. This is the shot to change your family lives. So what was the situation that made you pull out? Like, what was it?
At the last second at that,
Yeah, and we're going to get more into it when we talk about the fight between Islam and Renato, but it really complicates what's next for the division.
Right.
Because these two were because Arman was the legit contender. He defeated Charles Oliveira. Yeah, he defeated Oliveira fair and square. So to take him out the picture without even giving him a chance at the title, like, it complicates what's next for the division in terms of title fights and things like that. But we will get into that. Let's talk about the fight first.
Absolutely.
Islam versus Renato. What was your take on it?
I thought so. This is an interesting fight. Renato actually winner of 4 straight coming in, and impressive wins against Drew Dober, a win against I forgot this kid's name, Jalen Turner, the same guy that knocked out King Green, and his last one was very impressive as well. He beat Denis Saint what was his name? Saint Benoit. Right, the guy that was in with the guy that we thought was gonna take the man from Poirier that time.
The guy supposed to take Poirier.
Right. So he came in like, streaking high. How much times we've seen guys going to the title on a win streak, not really beating big names, but all of a sudden, carry that streak into a win. But bro, I'm gonna tell you, when the fight started, I thought it was interesting because you could see that Renato seemed to have a bit of a size advantage, and there was a knockdown. It said there was an exchange. I mean, apparently the commentator said that it wasn't a knockdown, but there was an exchange, and Islam went down. And once Islam went down,
it looked like to me it was to say like contact was made, unless they figured that the slip was even though contact was made, he still slipped because if he still had his leggings under him, he probably wouldn't have fell the way he did. But to me, like, bruh, you got hit and you fell, like,
Yeah.
that's a knockdown to me.
Yeah.
But
And right after that, in the first round, Islam said, "You know what? Forget standing up. I'm taking him down." And that was
like,
all she
didn't
wrote.
like that hit.
It was like,
He didn't,
yeah, that's
he
exactly
didn't
what
like
it
that.
was. Yep.
He didn't like that.
Yeah, he said,
didn't like it.
let me go to my bread and butter.
You're right, but here's the crazy part. But here's the crazy part. You bring up a good point. This is Islam. This is not Khabib. Khabib's bread and butter is wrestling. Islam has always been credited for having the same level of ground game as Khabib, but it's his striking that separates him from the rest of the pack. So his striking could have been as much of his bread and butter as his takedown. But like we pointed out, he did not like that hit. He did not like. He said, "Let's get this over with. Let's call it a night."
And soon thereafter, Darce choke, same way he ended Poirier in his previous fight. Fight went about, I think, approximately 4 minutes in the first round, and Islam, man, Islam making his point. So let me. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit because I want to get into this. And talking about Islam, and I guess this will transition to what we think is next for him, bro. You know I'm about to go with this. This is since Kamaru Usman. I always say that when it comes to somebody being universally recognized as pound for pound, that means 90% or more. Like you ask your common MMA fan, he's entering that territory, bro.
I'm gonna go further to you, Kev. During the press conference, Dana was asked, "Is Islam now number one pound for pound?" He said, "Yes, Islam is number one pound for pound." He put him above John Jones based on the fact that he does what John Jones never does, was he takes a new fight on short notice and he gets the job done. And that attitude, you gotta give it to him.
Yeah,
John Jones doesn't have that type of attitude. So to have that clumsy ability, I'm not mad at that. So he right now, he entering 2025, he's pound for pound number one.
This is your guy. I mean, I had to ask you because I know your list coming into 25 was more John Jones, and I think
technically, let's hold holy horses. Let's leave in 2024, Kev. We're into 2025 right now.
Fair enough. I'll let it slide. It's a new year. Okay? It's a new year. I'll let it go. I'll let it go. Right. Exactly. You had him at number 4. So he moved up 3 slots in a month.
He did in a couple weeks. So he did what only a pound for pound could do. He shot up there. So he
did his thing.
He did his thing.
So what you think is next?
He entered early.
Very early. What do you think?
And that goes back to what we was talking about in regards to how Arman pulling out complicates things, because the only legit next guy in my head that popped up is Oliveira. Mm-hmm. But Oliveira got beat by the guy that pulled out. So is that even a legit is that even a legit title shot? Or are we just doing it to fill in space?
Well, remember, in fairness, yes, but remember, earlier, Oliveira was scheduled for a title shot with Islam, and then he had to pull out. He did lose it. He did have a title shot coming up. This was what, last year? And his eye got busted pretty bad, and I forgot who took his spot. And he was on his way, and he hadn't been rewarded. He ended up getting Arman. So I wouldn't be mad at Oliveira. I don't think anybody would be mad at seeing Oliveira again. Oliveira, in the meantime, he beat Chandler, and he continues to stay active, look impressive. There's no debatables in his win. As a matter of fact, his Arman fight might have been debatable, the one that he did lose, from what I remember. So, yeah, I think Oliveira should I have no problem with Oliveira being next. I don't know about waiting again for Arman, and I don't think Arman made that much noise to where it's like, yo, we need to stop the division for this fight. I don't think that. He had some very good wins, results against Dariush, that knockout, the knee, and against Oliveira. But at the same time, Oliveira has been due a title shot for a minute now.
So let's play a little experiment game. What do you think is next for Armin then? Like, who do you think he has to, like, how many fights do you think they're gonna put him through before he gets the shot at the title again?
What do I think is next for Arman? How about Taporia? If he's real about making that move. If he's real about making the move, because right now at lightweight,
Yeah, I like that
it's a graveyard in regards to it's murderer's row, but it's a graveyard in regards to Islam didn't beat half these people already. The only person he didn't fight was Gaethje, and Gaethje lost to Holloway. Unless we put an arm on against Holloway, who just got in there. I think Holloway might already have a fight.
Gaethje against Armin?
Why not? Yeah, why not?
And whoever wins that gets the title shot?
Why not?
Because remember, Gaethje was supposed to get the title shot, but then you're right, he threw in his the BMF title against
right
against
or maybe even Holloway. Holloway beat Gaethje. He was the guy that beat Gaethje. So that's not that far-fetched.
That's true. You're right. Nah, you're right. So there are options for Armin.
Yeah.
If I was Armin, if that's the case, if I was Armin, I'll call out Holloway. Why fight the guy that? Because the way I'm thinking, like, low key, I think the UFC might want to punish Armin for the way he pulled out. Because
you know how they do.
You know how it's gonna. So to me,
allegedly, but we know how they do. You know how they do.
So to me, if he fights Gaethje, that might be like, okay, you fought Gaethje, now beat the man who beat him. If I was Armin, I'm calling out Holloway right away. Let's get her. As a matter of fact, I'm calling him out for the BMF though. My fault. I pulled out, but let me remind you who I am. Matter of fact, I'm the BMF. Give me Holloway, and if he beats Holloway, that's a legit reason to get the next title shot.
If they decide to put the BMF belt on the line, don't get me started on that. If they decide to put on
the line, and you're right, but and you're right. If they're punishing Armin, they might not even give him that shot. But the most realistic option to me to keep his name alive for a title shot would be Gaethje. But idealistically, it's between Holloway and
Poirier.
Not Poirier. No, Poirier.
I said Poirier.
Yeah. Oh, my fault.
If he's real about making that move.
He got to make some kind of noise. He has to make some kind of noise. He has to do something big. So he has to fight a fan favorite and make a statement.
Yeah, in that weight class, Poirier, to get the shot. But I see it happening, bro. As far as I can see him fighting Islam immediately with one win in the weight class.
Yeah,
I can see that kind of happening.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
let's go back to Renato. But to me, Renato situation.
Renato. You see, he won the lottery. I mean, bro, he won the lottery. He won the lottery. I don't. They're not.
None of that. But
I don't see it coming.
Here's the perfect thing with it. Remember, he was already on that card.
He's supposed to fight. You remember who he's gonna fight?
Benil Dariush.
He's gonna fight Dariush. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So right now, just pick up back where you came from. Like, okay, you was given a shot. Yes. You saved the card. You lost. Fight the guy that you're supposed to fight anyways, and you're back on track.
Fair enough. That's a no-brainer. That's fair enough.
No-brainer. If I was him, bringing it up, why not call out Gaethje? Listen, you guys, I listen. I saved the card for you guys. I want Gaethje. Forget Dariush. I want Gaethje. So this way, if he beats Gaethje, he has another shot at the title.
He seemed like the type that would jump at that fight too. He a real one. He a real one, Renato. He went in there.
Yeah. So
and honestly, I had the feeling that he might pull it off. It was something about him going in. Once Islam got him down,
it was over,
bro. Speaking of taking people down, the co-main. Wrestling Central. These are your guys right here. It's your type of fight, man.
Oh man, my man, we got my man Armin Nurmagomedov, who's Khabib's cousin.
Right.
Versus the bantamweight champ and our guy Merab.
Yeah, I was waiting. You paused. I was like, "Are you going?"
For that. But I got. And you know what's crazy? We didn't do a pre-show for this, but I was worried for Marab, bro. I was worried for Marab coming into this bout, but
Mm.
he did to Umar what he does to everyone else, bro. He
Mhm.
weaponized that cardio,
Yeah, he
and
did.
the first 2 rounds you could have gave it to Armin to Muffle to Umar.
Mhm.
But bro, from round 3, 4, and 5, you saw you saw Umar tiring out, and you saw Marab looking fresh as if it was round 1. Like, bro, his cardio. Like, who's gonna stop this man? Like, this man, and he's showboating. He. I remember once. I believe it was around 4 when Umar attempted 2 flying kicks at Marab and missed, and Umar's like this. Like, I'm like, nah, this is like, he's entertaining.
Right,
Dude's
right,
entertaining.
right,
And I
right, right.
thought to me, that was the fight. That was the best fight on the card, and I thought it would have been a boring fight because I thought it would have been like a either would have tried to keep either one on the ground through their ground game.
Right.
Bro, it's an interesting fight, man.
Yeah, yeah. It ended up being really good. Ended up being
That
really,
fight
really good.
was great, bro.
Yeah. All I could
That
think
fight
about
was,
is your words, weaponized cardio. Because the first half of the
bro.
fight, I thought Umar was getting the better of it. But I think halfway through the fight, the next half of the fight was all Marab.
Bro,
Marab started to take him down. He started to work him. And don't get me wrong, Umar was still competitive. And it
he
might be a
was.
debatable to some people. It might be a debatable to some people. But
Nah, it
for
wasn't good to
me,
me.
I know, no, not for me either. Not for me either. But it was tight. It was close.
Competitive. It
It was
was
very
competitive
competitive.
and not
Very competitive.
debatable. It was
Not debatable.
competitive, not
Got
debatable.
you. Got you. No. I thought Marab won. I
Mhm.
know I heard people, Khabib, well, that's his corner, Khabib, and other people were saying that, were asking the question, do you think he won or whatever. Yeah, I thought Marab won. And I'm going to segue right into this, bro. We might have somebody else entering the pound for pound discussion. I mean, he has a win. I had O'Malley, but prior to fighting Marab, I had O'Malley in my top 5 based on his win against Aljamain, and based on the dominance against Vera and then looking at the landscape, he beat Jan too. And looking at the
Bro,
landscape, and Marab done ran through Jan, ran through. These are dominant wins.
Henry
These
Cejudo,
Henry Cejudo, he
bro, he's
separated himself. I kind of had him yoked with Aljamain Marab
mhm.
because they were from the same camp, and nah,
Yeah,
nah,
yeah,
he's doing
he
on the highest level. I mean, ease with ease. These aren't. Remember the knock on Aljamain, which respectfully, I don't want to make this an Aljamain thing. The knock on him, this is the greatest bantamweight of all time, but the fights were so close. It was like he didn't really separate them, so every fight was like, as in his reign, was like a split decision. There's there's none of that with Marab. It's these.
bro. Jermaine was doing the division a
A
favor by being
service,
the
yeah.
champ. Like you had a chance with me, but just two more. Think about look, his last 5 victories. Let's just go back to 2022.
Yeah.
Jose Aldo.
Yes.
Okay, we already mentioned Peter Yan.
Yeah. Dominated him.
Dominant. Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley. Like, this
Yeah.
man's resume.
Dominates.
Then just Umar Nurmagomedov, who everybody thought was the golden child of the bantamweight division, coming from that dominant camp, bro. This man, like I said, Aljamain was doing the division a favor by winning the crown. Like, yo, guys, like, I got a man back here. Like, y'all,
Yeah.
like, here, like, and that speaks to, like, remember there was an issue of Marab refusing to fight Aljamain because that was his friend, and we all thought he was taking a big risk with his career. This man, once Aljamain left, this man made up for all that in under a couple of years. Like, yo,
Take over.
it's
Taking over and dominance. This is the first fight that was even competitive. So I don't know what's next. What was crossing my mind, and I don't mean to keep bringing up Taporia, but I don't see anybody in that. I don't know who they put. Sandhagen is the only person that hasn't fought him that I'm thinking about. off the top of my head. I'm like, so,
that's not. That's what
or
I'm
maybe a
thinking too.
rematch with O'Malley. Because I will say
Okay,
this about the O'Malley fight.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you interested in a rematch with O'Malley? Let's start there.
You know what's crazy about it? I think as the fight draws near, I think we'll be more interested. But I think here's what I will say this though. I'll say this because I think Merab's dominance kind of overshadows something.
And Corey Sandhagen lost to Umar.
Yeah, Umar.
So
Yeah. But I'm saying he hasn't fought. Sandhagen was on a tier before that. I was wondering why Umar got that shot. Why Sandhagen didn't get the title shot. Sandhagen, the last time he competed for the belt was against not even against Aljamain. I don't think he never got a title shot. So I kind of, but then they threw him in there with Umar. But O'Malley, from what I remember, and maybe because this feels like a while ago. I felt like somewhere in that Merab fight, he started to find success towards the end with body kicks. I vaguely remember there was some body shots, but he kind of made the adjustment late. And I wonder if he could make the adjustments to be successful if they fought again. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, the way there was a one-sided loss, but I wouldn't mind seeing them go again. But as far as a fight that would jumps off the page, I think he could. I would like to see him in Topuria because Topuria is not the biggest featherweight. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be mad at him fighting Topuria, but Topuria already made up his mind that he wants in the lightweight division.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Until what you say, it's an ink hit the paper, so you see him walking around at 155, so you see him walking around up there. And
what about the flyweight champ? What about him fighting the flyweight champ?
Flyweight, is that Pantoja?
Yeah.
Well, if Pantoja moved up, yeah. I don't know if Rob will go down.
This is how much, and you're right. He is definitely going into the pound for pound list.
Mm-hmm.
If he continues, I'm pretty sure he'll be in our conversations when we do our pound conversation in December.
Mm-hmm.
We're not putting him in super fights right now, Kev. We're not even talking about fights in this division anymore. We're talking about him. You're talking about Topuria. I'm talking about Pantoja. Like he's a problem.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with this guy?
Yeah, it's clean. Division is clean. There's nobody. The only I'm giving you Sandhagen, and Sandhagen just lost some Umar, but that's the only person I can think of that he didn't fight that might give him problems. Just based stylistically.
I was thinking about Davidson Figueiredo, but Davidson Figueiredo lost to Peter Yan.
And he already beat Yan. That's why I didn't even bring that up. I remember. Yeah, bro, I don't know how they gonna maneuver that. I think that what's next for him is O'Malley again. I think the UFC, unless if O'Malley has a fight coming up, they'll try to showcase O'Malley again. I don't want to say they'll try to. O'Malley is a star. And there's matchups that O'Malley hasn't had yet. So I would like to see him actually.
I was going to say.
Yeah, so I would like to see
Merab versus O'Malley. Personally, I think O'Malley's next fight should be Umar.
Would it be Umar? That'd be a good one.
They both come off a loss against the champ. Let's see.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, let's see which one of you guys should get the next shot at the title. At this point, I think Rob deserves like a super fight because his division, the division is the bantamweight division is kind of shallow.
But the super fight was O'Malley.
Huh?
Super fight was O'Malley, wasn't it? Kind of won it. That's why we talking about him in this ilk.
No. Well, no. When I say super fight, I meant like when a champ fight another champ. That's what I meant by super fight. Okay. Yeah, when he fought O'Malley, that was for the title. He was a legit contender for the title. It was a big fight, and it was on Cinco de Mayo. But when I'm talking about like him fighting, like at this point we're just looking for like a champ type fight situation for this man. Cause like who else is in this division for him to fight? Right, unless you wait him out and have O'Malley, Umar fight each other out to build some hype for who he's gonna fight next. Yeah,
I like I think for as we go into talking about Umar versus O'Malley, I think that's the matchup that we would like to see.
Say it again?
For Umar versus O'Malley.
Yeah,
I think
and
we'll
go.
go that we'll go there as far as Umar's concerned. As far as Marab, yeah, big fight. Taporia, but if Pantoja could come up, because Pantoja is destroying the flyweight division. That division is
That's what
done.
I'm saying.
He's fighting the same
He's in
people
the
like
same
4 or 5
position.
times already. Yeah,
He's in the same position as Marab is.
yeah. So if he can make the weight, if he can move up and make the weight,
Yeah, if he can move
I'm
away,
with
yeah,
it.
if he could, and if he
Yeah,
wants to, like,
yeah. So
plus Pantoja's calling out Mighty Mouse. So yeah, so
yeah, that's something else. All right, so let's go
yeah.
on to another fight on the card, which is, well, I don't know how to. I think this is more of a goodie for the fans
I mean,
because
it was a light heavyweight contender fight, I believe,
contender for what though, Shells?
for the next. You don't think
Not
either. You don't think
no, but
you don't think so?
Hill would have had a chance. Hill would have had a chance, but not Yuri. We're
Not
gonna see a
Yuri,
lot of
really,
things go down before Yuri get another crack at it. He got knocked out
really.
twice already.
Well, tell me what you think about the fight first of all.
It was a good win. It leaves me this fight leaves me with more questions than answers. And it leaves me
Really?
more, yeah, as far as the light heavyweight division, because I don't see them booking Yuri and Peloton again. He knocked him out
And
twice
Pereira?
already. Yeah, I don't see that happening. So for Yuri, I think the division is at a standstill. We may be looking at the John Jones. We may be looking at Peloton going up in weight. He has a fight coming up in March against not March, UFC 313 against Angalayev, which is I've been
Yes,
wanting to see that
March.
fight for a minute. Angalayev, very versatile. I think he may present some problems for Peloton. But
Pereira?
yeah, but bro, as far as this fight is concerned, if Hill would have won, it would have sparked interest for that. But Hill is looking at Roundtree. I was thinking about
Yeah,
it. I'm like, Hill is.
that's me. Yeah, we
I
jumped
think it
right to
might.
it. Yeah,
I think that
I
might
think
be
that's next
it.
up for Hill.
I
Yeah,
think it
that's
might
next
be
for
it
Hill.
for Hill, man.
Roundtree.
And with Hill, the one thing I always say, Shells, when he came back and took Pereira right away after either rupturing or tearing his Achilles, I questioned it immediately. I was telling you, I was like, I don't really like him coming back, because when you're injured, bro, it's a difference between being hurt and shelved. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's you have to answer questions about your own physical ability. It is a mental injury as well. If you're hurt, if you're injured, you have to overcome that mentally. On top of the questions that your opponent is going to ask you in the ring, like there's there's a lot going on. And now you have.
You.
That's what I'm saying. And now he's lost to Yuri, lost to
Mm-hmm.
Peloton, knockouts. It's going to be Roundtree. And how is he going to deal with Roundtree? If Roundtree hasn't lost a step after taking that beating with Peloton, I mean, how's he going to deal with that? So, and then what does that build him to? I think for Yuri, the matchup is going to be Blakovic. I think Yuri's going to end up fighting Blakovic. I think Blakovic is the one.
Yeah.
He has the debatable with Pereira, and also he had the draw with Angalayev. So I think it will be Blakovic. That makes sense. And
I believe so too.
and I think it's Roundtree for boy.
For
Man,
Hill, yeah.
I'm glad Hill won a
want you on
championship in his career. That's hard. I'm glad Hill won a championship in his career.
Yeah,
You know, because it's so it's difficult. And
He
then
got his.
yeah, because he's in the back for a former
I
champion.
mean, if he pulls off a significant win against Roundtree, I think probably 1 or 2 more wins, and he could be back in the conversation for a title shot.
But how though? I mean, you can't.
You
You gonna book him against Pereira again? I mean, not Pereira, against Yuri again?
Yuri? Well, it depends on how Yuri pulls off against Jan
Against
Blachowicz.
Blakovic?
Yeah,
Blachowicz?
Yuri got his own journey, bro.
You're right.
He'll don't know about Yuri right now. He'll see the Furcus was in front of him. So I think it's definitely gonna be Roundtree for Hill, and definitely like you said, Jan Blachowicz for Yuri Prohaska.
All right, bet. So that was quick. So let's transition into our last topic. This situation, for anybody that's been monitoring it, the Earl Spence post Terrence Crawford, he moved up in weight to the junior middleweight division, and similar to Terrence Crawford, he moved up in weight. And for the last, I think, almost a year now, he's been trying to book a fight with Fortuna, Sebastian Fortuna, who took the belts off of Tim Tszyu by devastating knockout. And not devastating knockout, really grind out knockout, but anyway. And this fight hasn't been made. It was said to be made for October, pushed back to February. Now they've taken the fight off the table altogether, Shelz. And it's said to be the Spence side. The speculation is that it's the
negotiation problem.
What's there to negotiate?
So do you think he's still dealing with the defeat from Crawford, bro?
And he's also trained. He doesn't have the same trainer anymore. I believe there was allegedly there was a money dispute after the Crawford fight, and they split as well. Derek James, former trainer of the year, that trained him his whole career.
That's a big deal, bro.
And he can't make these. Yo, have we seen the last of Earl Spence, bro?
I haven't seen it. You're right. Honestly, it's crazy how you go from, and this is why, as fans, right? Yes, we want to see the fights we want. We want to see the best fight the best. But this is why dudes be cherry picking, bro. Because let's be real. This is why dudes be cherry picking, because Errol Spence was on top of his division. He could have ignored Crawford when Errol Spence was on top. He didn't have to give Crawford the chance he gave him. Now look at the situation. We haven't heard from Spence since then. Crawford is damn near outside the heavyweight division. He's damn near the face of boxing, bro. And when he comes out, pound for pound, when he comes out, like, people want to see him fight, bro. And they even talk about him fighting Canelo. And those talks are kind of getting more serious. And Canelo's like
they're speculating that is going to be done for the 25th, September 25th. I think that's Mexican Independence, around that area.
Yo, bro, do you know how big of a pay that's going to be for Crawford? Like Canelo is the money tree of box. Like he is the earner. He's the what's what I'm looking for? He's the cash cow.
Yeah, cash cow. Yeah,
he's the cash cow, and to fight him for Mexican Independence, like, bro, to even. For those to even be in the air, like, look at the trajectory of their two careers right now. Like, we got one dude separate from his team, and another who's going to for a crazy payday.
Yeah.
If those rumors are true.
Yeah.
But to go back to when I last heard from Spence, the last time I heard from Spence was like, right, from the Crawford situation, and it seems like he hasn't gotten his footing back since.
Yeah, this seems. Seems like a lifetime story, like, one of those documentaries, like What Happened to Earl Spence, like that fateful night. He was riding on top of the world, and
but here's my question. Let's say he does any fight. Let's say he does get a fight booked, and he loses. Do you think that'd be the end of his career? Do you think there's still there'll still be room for redemption and things of that nature?
If he booked a fight and lost, well, right now he's 30. The story would be, Shelz, fighter in the boxing world especially, there are some fighters that never recover from their first loss. And I think that would be the label. But I think his career, it would be. It's already taken him this long to take this fight. So if he's financially well, maybe, after a Crawford loss in the biggest fight of your career, to lose like that, you would think you would want to get back right away. It's been a year and a half, and there's nothing.
You think he'd be not begging, but you think he'd be voicing for that rematch? I'm pretty sure there was a rematch clause in their contract.
There was, and remember, from what I recall, his side nixed it. He had to get, all of a sudden, they were scheduled to fight, I think, in February, and then he's getting eye surgery. And I'm like, huh? Like, The fight happened July. You getting eye surgery at the same time y'all supposed to be fighting. That don't really make sense. I don't know, Shelz. You know what I think too, I don't like to say this too much, but I've always thought that Crawford would beat Spence when they did fight, and I think Spence is a great fighter, but I think Crawford is a special fighter.
Yeah.
But I feel that, and I don't like saying this because I don't like to take away from Crawford's win in any way. I feel that accident changed Spence a little bit. I don't think you could come out and say, when you're still a professional fighter, you still got a career, oh, I'm hurt, or I'm feeling this, or I'm not 100%. You can't really say that. There's money to be made still. And I think he's just not saying it. I think it probably affected him a little more. And he's not saying it.
So, okay, Kev, fair one, but here's the question. If that's the case, why take the fight against Crawford? Why not just stay? Why not keep pushing him to the side and keep cherry picking and keep making your money because you know you're not the same guy?
See, but here's the thing with that. If he won 2 fights after the accident, so maybe, and the guys that he fought weren't necessarily, they had names. Maybe stylistically he had advantages, but they had names. So maybe as much as you say he could have steered away from Crawford, not with boxing fans. Not really with boxing fans like that. See, the problem with us boxing fans is that we don't get the fights that we want to see, but we end up paying and settling for other fights, and that's how everybody gets over. So Spence, I respect him for taking the Crawford fight because that was the fight people wanted to see for years. And they made it happen, but
when it was supposed to happen,
it was a mandate because Crawford was basically chopping down the same people that Spence was beating and beating them even more impressively. So as much as we could say, it would have looked bad to me if Spence would have went to 154 without fighting Crawford. I think it would have been a bad look. He might have still got away with it financially, but it still would have been a bad look.
Canelo's doing that right now.
Yeah, but Canelo. Yeah, but that's different. Canelo got a country on his back. He got a fan base that's basically like, no. You don't gotta fight anybody else. He got a fan base that's shit. You don't gotta fight anybody else, bro. It would take it's ridiculous, bro. Like I was saying to you the other day, like could you imagine if Mayweather would have lost to somebody, not fought the dude again, strung together four wins, and came back and said, I'm the best pound for pound, we would have killed him. What's the name? Lost to Bivol. Came back, has another fight in his weight class he's not even looking at, and he's getting a hard pass, bro. I'm like, all right, but oh man,
it is what it is.
It is what it is, bro. Well,
there you have it, guys. Tell us what you think. Do you think what's going on with Errol Spence's career? Do you think he's still recovering from his first loss against Crawford, or do you think there's other internal situations that's preventing him from booking the fight? Let us know also what you thought about the UFC picks we had for Umar Nurmagomedov, Merab, Jamal Hill, Yuri Prochazka, my man Islam Makhachev, and Ronaldo. Did you like the picks we have for the next fights, or do you have better ideas or better fighters that you think they should be going against these guys? Please like, share, subscribe, leave comments, give us opinions about what you think about these fights. And until next time, this is Kev and Shelz. I'm Shelz.
Kev, 8 Count Sports, man. Enjoy the day, y'all.
Enjoy the day, y'all. Fighters with Kev and Shelz. Fighting words, guys. Peace.